States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump, Mr. President. How you feeling today? Because the transition has begun. I wanted to see if you're in good spirits.
We're in very good spirits, Mr. Tech Stuff person. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. It's very simple. You ever heard of the rope a dope?
Okay.
You know what that is? When Matthew Ali, the boxer, Matthew Ali, he would
Muhammad Ali?
was that his name?
Yeah, it was Muhammad Ali.
Okay, so
Float like a
Mitch,
butterfly, sting like a bee. Is that who you're talking about?
which is by the way assault, and they should have arrested him for that. But he said that um, Europa Dope was when he fought the guy with the grills. He fought the boxer who had the hamburger grills.
I'm bad at boxing history. I'm sorry, Mr. President.
You never saw his commercials with the grills on TV?
Oh, George Foreman?
Him with the grills. The guy who boxed and had the grills.
George
He
Foreman had the forming grill.
well, there you go. So now you know
Okay.
who I'm talking about. Okay,
Yes.
excuse you. And he beat the crap out of Mitch Ali. And
Muhammad. Muhammad.
I don't say Muhammad because it's not it's sort of terrorist. And he punched him. Foreman punched him so strongly and tired himself out. And then, you know, Ali,
Muhammad. Muhammad Ali.
Ali, we'll call him Ali, like he's a cute girl. And Ali McBeal was beaten but not done. And then the grill guy was too tired. And Ali McBeal beat the crap out of him because he was so tired.
Why
And
can't
that's
you name these boxers by their names, Mr. President?
excuse me. That's what we're doing. We're doing rope a dope with the Sleepy Joe campaign. And now all of a sudden they think, oh, a transition's starting. Oh, how nice. We'll go in, sir. We'll go in and have a transition party. And that's when I hit the crap out of them. Sleepy Joe's going to sleepwalk into the Oval Office going, nice transition. And then, pow, right in his sleepy head.
You are
He,
going to
he
assault.
gets a Trump grill hamburger right in the face.
You're going to assault the president elect. You were going to fight Joe Biden.
Rope a dope Biden. You put it down now because that's called a title. And we're going to win the title. And not the Jay-Z Beyonce title where they play black music.
I don't think it works like that, where you can just take out the president elect and then become president again.
Well, you'll see, won't you?
I guess I will. How do you feel that Emily Murphy announced that the
Fat.
transition? I didn't. That's very rude.
What?
Oh, I didn't ask how you felt about her looks.
No, I was talking to mesothelioma, my wife. She looks like she's put on 2 pounds. That's what you have to. Are you married, tech stuff guy?
I am married.
Well,
Yes.
you got to talk trash sometimes to the wife to keep them
I
in line.
I won't do that. My wife's pregnant, so I will not be talking trash.
Well, then you're weak.
Okay.
We call that cuck stuff guy, I think is your new title. Because I tell you, you know what I did when mesothelioma was pregnant? I didn't just call her fat. I fucked a porn star.
You really
That's
know
how
to
you
double
show
down.
them who's boss. You rope a dope Sleepy Joe and you treat mesothelioma like a pregnant whore. You see this? Do you see the energy? Do I sound like a guy who's been defeated? This
No,
is
but
this is called big second term energy.
Mr. President, it seems like since the election, all you've done is play golf. Uh,
Very
I
well, but you left out very well. Played very well.
played very well. I haven't seen many press conferences. You haven't talked about COVID at all. COVID
Who?
numbers are rising. You should have maybe said something about the holidays and how you
You ever
people.
heard that? You know what we're doing now as a joke at my rallies? We're going to have some rallies soon. No masks. We're having a 5,000 person, eyes wide shut, mask, no masks, only masks to cover your eyes. That's how we do it. Total breathing, eyes wide shut, Thanksgiving party at Mar-a-Lago. Going to be a lot of fun. 5,000 guests. And, but what we're going to do is we're going to have rallies. And you know how the left hates it when we play their songs, when we play their music?
Okay.
Well, Bruce Springsteen, who's one of the nastiest, pretends to be a working man hero for the left. We're playing The Rising, his famous song, The Rising, at all my rallies for the COVID.
M- Mr. President, that's a horrible joke to make.
It's not
I
a
don't know
joke.
why. I don't know
We're
why.
going to be playing the song.
I know, but I don't know why you are proud.
COVID up for the rising. We added it instead of come on up, we added COVID for the rising. So it's a little more on point.
Uh,
Na 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 na.
you are such a great musician, Mr.
Well,
President.
when he's singing with the guy from The Sopranos. I like The Sopranos. It's a good show.
Mr. President, though, I don't know why
Who
you
are you
haven't.
talking? Emily Murphy. Weren't we talking about
We're
Emily
talking
Murphy?
Emily Murphy, but with Emily Murphy, the transition,
Murphy's
uh,
Law. You ever heard of that?
yes, but the
Oh,
transition.
well, we're doing
what,
law.
what I'm asking you about is the transition finally has begun. Did you wait this long because Thanksgiving is Thursday and basically everyone's travel plans are already made? So COVID is going to rise in the next 2 weeks exponentially. So you can blame Biden for that?
I blame China and I blame Biden. So I'm blaming Chiden.
So many titles to choose from.
And that's going to be, watch this. I'm making a strong prediction right now. Within 4 months, I will tweet Chiden, parentheses, China plus Biden.
is the is the cause of all the COVID outbreaks.
That's what we're going to call, we're going to call him. That's his nickname. He doesn't even know it yet. He doesn't even know it.
The thing is, Mr. President, you don't think you should have said something about people traveling for Thanksgiving? All CDC, every doctor, professor has said that you should not travel for Thanksgiving. You should not gather with your families indoors. People should just stay put. And then, shouldn't you, as
ABC, ABC, BBD, the East Coast family. I don't care who says what, okay, about COVID. Motown Philly, back
yes,
again.
I understand where that came from.
No, and I'm saying we're going. If it happens, hey, it happens. Like I said, eyes wide shut party, 5,000 guests, only masks on the eyes at Mar-a-Lago. We're gonna see what happens. That's my philosophy. The American people said they don't want me as president. Well, guess what? No president.
So you just plan on killing everyone?
COVID up for the rising.
Mr. President, how would you consider yourself presidential or a president? Because I don't think any president in the past or even in the future would do something like this and basically take the
Well, I'm going to
American
run again
people
in
and put
2024. And then we can say, oh, look, a president is doing this in the future. And then I will look you up in whatever tech stuff box you're living in underneath a bridge. And I will say, guess what? You were wrong. A future president is doing it. And that future president is Donald J. Trump,
is-
Esquire.
do you know who you would pick as your running mate in 2024?
Uh, I would say that right now, top tier people.
Hmm.
Kristi Noem from South Dakota, because she believes in freedom, and she looks like she can bang.
Isn't that where
Uh,
like the most COVID spikes are happening right now?
Most freedom, and she's hot. And I think that's I like a hot woman that's into freedom.
Okay.
And Nikki Haley is obviously a top contender. Ivanka, and notice, see this, all these women, all these great
Hmm.
women. Oh, Trump's so sexist. No, I would pick only women that I think I would want to have sex with. So, uh, Kristi Noem, Nikki Haley, who's not white, by the way, so not racist, Ivanka, and
Wouldn't you ask Big Huck?
Big Huck. I think we said on one of the Patreon episodes, by the way,
Right, but I'm
exclusive content. We said chief of staff. That's why she has
right.
a new nickname, Big Chuck.
Right, but her not being here, I thought maybe you thought it
It's
over.
no, because you know what? Even though vice president is higher ranking, chief of staff is, and by the way, imagine Ivanka managing my staff as chief of staff. That'd be pretty impressive and interesting. Uh,
So
but
impressive.
she can believe me. We've seen on the security footage she's not too shy handling a staff. But I would say the Huck is would be a day to day by my side sort of presence as chief of staff, whereas vice president you go on different things, different trips. So I think she would be more valuable in a slightly lower rank, but a more close rank to the president. Me.
Mr. President, I want to get back to COVID and Thanksgiving again. If there are tremendous COVID spikes,
And
do
strong.
you and sorry, let me rephrase that.
No,
If
and you forgot powerful as well.
if there are strong and powerful COVID
And
spikes
tremendous.
and tremendous COVID spikes, do you take any accountability? Do you think it's your fault at all for not saying anything to the American people and playing golf?
If they don't know that COVID is out there, everybody knows COVID is there. Some people believe in it, some people don't. And if they want to believe in it, I agree with them. I had it, I defeated it very strongly. And if you don't believe in it, then maybe it's like Santa Claus, where it's like it doesn't exist. So I think our people can make up their decisions. It's called America. It's called freedom. It's called Second Amendment.
How is that Second Amendment? How does that have any how does that have anything to do with COVID, the Second Amendment? Please explain
Well,
that.
it's a very important amendment. As I've said, David Letterman has his top 10 lists, and number two was always the funniest one. And I feel like the Second Amendment, even though it's second, is actually the most important. It's like a Letterman list. But I would say, our Second Amendment people, they can, you can protect yourself with the Second Amendment from COVID.
How are bullets going to protect you from COVID? And I don't even know why I asked you that question, but I'm curious the answer. How is having a gun and bullets going to protect you from COVID?
Well, COVID comes in and sees you have a gun and says, "Get me the hell out of here. I don't want any part of this guy. He's got a gun."
Do you think COVID has a brain and knows what a gun is?
I think it's possible.
COVID is a virus. COVID does not have a mind of its own. COVID doesn't think. COVID
Then
doesn't
why
pick
was
who to
I
infect.
when I was on therapeutics? Why did COVID say to me, "Sir, stop beating us so quickly, sir"? Why did it do that?
I think you were maybe hallucinating because you're on a lot
No,
of
no, no,
drugs.
no, no. Excuse me. Both Herman Cain and the great Fred Trump both said to me at the time, "You are kicking the crap out of that COVID, sir." They called me
How
sir.
how how did they talk to you when both of them are dead?
Oh,
They're both dead. How did they speak to
no,
you?
no, no, no. My cousin Richard Trump is dead.
Your father is dead too, and Herman Cain is dead also. Both of them are dead.
Oh
It
well,
was it's
rest in
impossible.
power. Well, now you got me thinking about the great Jeff Epstein. So please don't upset me.
It, it makes no sense, Mr. President. I'm trying to make sense of it, but
It actually
um,
makes total sense. Okay, so let's move on.
okay. Before we move on, Mr. President, you were saying tremendous, huge, strong, powerful, and all those words describe our sponsor. That's right. It's betonline.ag, Mr. President. We are back again this week. Football again, and all the games are awesome. I
You
don't know
know
if you're
who's
watching
also
yet.
back again?
Who?
Backstreet.
You're a Backstreet Boys fan?
Back streets back. Ah!
All right. Um, NFL is back though, not the Backstreet Boys. I don't think they're reuniting.
Mike, I said Backstreet Boys, not Backdoor Boys. Calm down.
Mr. President, NFL games have been awesome. There have been some surprise teams this year, injuries. It's been a crazy season. Pittsburgh Steelers still undefeated, which is very amazing. You might not be at a game, but you could still bet on all the action at Bet Online. No matter how schedules change or players that play, Bet Online is going the extra mile to make sure you can get in on every game this season with the fastest updated odds in the industry. Also, there is casino games. You can play poker. There are prop bets all season long. Even for sports that are not happening right now, you can bet on futures. There are always more options to wager than anywhere online, and that's betonline.ag. Head to BetOnline today. Many listeners use BetOnline. I use BetOnline. Take advantage of all the great midseason bonuses, offers, and contests. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. That's betonline.ag. Now, Mr. President, I wanted to ask you how Don Jr. is. Have you spoken with him? I know you were not wishing he would die, but I don't. You didn't think you would be that upset if you lost him.
No, and that's once again the bonus content for anybody who doesn't listen to the Patreon. They're missing out. No, Don Jr. is taken care of, and his girlfriend Kim Gargoyle is taken care of because I've been plowing her up the butt ever since. I get emotional when I think about my, taking care of my son's girlfriends.
I mean, you're taking care of her in such a really, I don't know, loving, responsible way.
That's what separates a good father from a great father, is that when my son can't carry out his duties as boyfriend, I step in very powerfully and destroy Kim Gargoyle on a nightly basis.
Hypothetical situation for you. Don Jr. is sick right now. Guilfoyle was sick. Both of them had COVID. Maybe they think
You can't catch it from anal. That's why I'm being very safe.
I wasn't even going there about you catching it from me.
Well, I wasn't going there either until she screamed at me, "The best is yet to come." And then I said, okay.
What I'm saying is, how would you feel if Don Jr., his health being bad, he looks at Kim Guilfoyle and he decides to get engaged to her? How would you feel if they got married?
Who cares? That's fine.
Okay, you have no strong feelings about whatsoever. Okay, just curious. Have you given? You said Don Jr. Has he gotten the proper care though? I don't want to give away what you said on the Patreon episode, but you insinuating some things. Is he being cared for properly?
I don't really know.
You have no clue. You haven't stepped in to see if your son is okay.
I'm sure he'll be fine. And like I said, and if he's not fine, then bye-bye.
Now, Mr. President, we do have a special guest tonight.
No, I know. He just shuffled in here, that old son of a bun. Son of a gun, I said, Mitch. I said, son of a gun. You've been very strong with the judges for me.
I've never met him before. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, welcome to the show.
Hello, Jay.
Hello. Do you want me Mitch or Mr. McConnell? What would you prefer?
Senate Majority Leader Mr. McConnell, sir.
Senate Majority Leader Mr. McConnell, sir. Is that what you want to? How many? You want me to address you every single time?
Well, it's a title that I earned and very respectful.
You may have to enunciate a little bit, Mr.
Senate
Majority Leader.
I think if you just turn up your headphones, you'll see that I'm speaking very clearly.
Okay, I'm going to turn up my headphones a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
turn them up. Yeah, I hear him very clearly. I hear
okay.
him. I speak Kentucky Turtle. Okay, I have very strong language skills.
I didn't know Kentucky Turtle was a language.
Oh, it's a dialect that we have in Kentucky. More educated, more. I don't speak like necessarily one of the coal miners who's poorly educated, but I speak, as a southern sort of gentleman.
Okay. Senate Majority Leader McConnell, sir, how do you feel about the transition to President-elect Biden? How are you feeling about it?
Well, to be honest, I don't think it's over yet. I think it's our president. Thank you, Mitch. I appreciate it. I think he's shown great judgment, and we're going to let the court cases play out. But I think that he's shown incredible restraint, and I think we have yet to determine who is in fact president elect. I think when these court cases shake out, we very well see a second term for President Trump.
Well,
I couldn't
Senate,
agree. Thank you, Mitch. It's so great to hear just, somebody who's been so great for our country and for our judges speak with such power and truth.
Mr. President, we're going to get to it later, but the lawsuits that you have filed, almost all of them have been thrown out already. And what people are saying, lots of them are being considered a joke, not based on evidence, based on hearsay, based on hunches, no concrete factual evidence. Judges have said this.
Well, I could say, if I may say so, Mr. President, sir. You
Of
may.
course. Yes.
No, excuse me. He was asking me for permission, not tech stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, what I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted by the tech stuff guy is I believe that we have done a great job with the federal judiciary. We've added so many judges under this president's leadership that I think that we are in a position where we are probably going to start winning some of these lawsuits. So I wouldn't count your progressive chickens until I've bashed them open and eaten the yolks.
Is that a saying that you go by, Senate
It's
Majority Leader McConnell, sir?
it is. It is. It's a very popular one in my turtle family in Kentucky.
Another question for you. Actually, two more questions.
For who?
Senate Majority Leader McConnell, sir, what are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Oh well, my plans are to take my wife on a nice trip to China, where her family's from, and we're going to get a nice loan of $50 million from her father, and we're going to eat some turkey and some stuffing, and as you can tell from, excuse you, as
Excuse
you
me.
can as you can tell from the way I speak, I enjoy eating mashed potatoes.
Sounds like you have mashed potatoes in your mouth right now, Senate Majority Leader McConnell, sir. Um, so you plan on getting together with family for Thanksgiving, and,
Well,
and and flying all the way to China.
in Wuhan.
You're going to Wuhan during a pandemic.
Well, it's actually safer than it is in this country. So
Right.
China's done quite a strong job handling the virus. So I feel safer there. No disrespect to you, Mr. President. No, none taken. I think you should go to China. That's probably where I'm going to end up after my presidency.
You're going to be in China, Mr. President.
China or Russia or Brazil. One of the great places that's very strong for rich men.
I have one more question before Senate Majority Leader McConnell has to go.
I didn't realize I had to go anywhere.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just coming by for a little bit. I heard you were in a rush, but
Oh
okay,
no,
my mistake.
turtles. Slow and steady wins. Slow and steady wins the racist.
Sl- s- Did you say slow and steady wins the racist?
Oh, isn't that the phrase?
No, that's not.
I thought that was a phrase.
No,
Well, there's a
it's
lot of ways to skin a cat.
It's it's Sloan said he wins the race. It's not the racist. Who
There's a
taught
lot
you
of
that?
way. There's a lot of ways to skinhead the cat.
That's not a saying either. That's not a saying either. Who is telling you these sayings?
Well, you win some and you know, you win more.
You win some and you win more.
That actually is a Trump family saying that I taught Mitch. Thank you for using it, Mitch. You used it correctly, very strongly.
Oh, thank you, Mr. President. We respect the office of the presidency, and we think that Donald Trump is probably going to win a second term. But we'll see. We're going to let it play out in the courts.
Well, Senate Majority Leader McConnell, sir, just one last question I have for you. How do you think President Trump has been dealing with COVID the past 2 weeks heading into the holidays and after the election?
I think he has done an admirable job. I wish he had, if you don't mind me saying so, Mr. President,
Now I want you to speak very honestly, Mitch. Thank you.
I would say that it would have been nicer if he had been more pro mask early on. But I understood he was worried, understandably, about the health effects of Mask. He saw the movie Mask with Cher, with the big headed guy, and I think he was upset by that, and I can appreciate that. Uh, but other than that, I think the president's shown very bold, strong leadership.
All right. Well, Senate Majority Leader McConnell, sir, I don't have any more questions for you. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with the audience or get off your mind or
Remember to go to vote in Georgia for the two Republicans so I can continue to stifle and ruin Sleepy Joe Biden's presidency.
thank you, Senate Majority Leader McConnell, sir. It was a pleasure meeting
Thank you,
you.
Mitch. Thank you. Very nice, strong appearance.
And if you enjoyed the appearance of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/MPGA. We have episodes with Kavanaugh. We had Obama. We have Big Huck on all in the last few weeks. Tons of bonus episodes all in November. I think total of 8 to 10 bonus episodes. Plus this Wednesday, the night before Thanksgiving, which is the 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we have a live Perfect 10 episode with a Q&A that's only for Perfect 10. So sign up on patreon.com/MPGA and check out all the past bonus episodes as well. And Mr. President, I wanted to ask you about the lawsuits for the election. Almost all of them are thrown out. I know Senate Majority Leader McConnell brought them up. They're considered a joke by many judges. They're laughing at you. How does that make you feel?
I have spoken very powerfully about our legal team not being what they should be. Rudy Giuliani had diarrhea leaking from his brain.
That's what you call it? I call that hair dye.
No, it was liquid shit coming from his brain. And then Sidney Powell. Sidney Powell, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
If she were hotter, she is not an attractive woman. She's sort of just old and plain and goofy. If she were hot, she'd probably be the best fuck in all of Washington, D.C.
Why is that?
because she is out of her fucking mind. And I
Yeah.
have to admit, a little of me got hard when I was hearing her speak, because I just thought, wow, she's crazy. But then I looked at her and realized she was not attractive. And she wasn't crazy in a good way. She was just crazy in sort of a, tinfoil hat kind of way.
You hired her, though, Mr. President. You hired her. She worked for you, and she is claiming that a deceased Hugo Chavez and others are responsible for rigging the election.
Well, I
Had-
can tell you that I denounced that very strongly. I spoke with Herman Cain the other day, and he thought it was crazy. He said, Hugo Chavez is dead. And I said, I know, Herman, I know. So we're all on the same page when it comes to Sydney.
How did you speak
She's
to Herman Cain? He is dead also.
Oh, you know what? It was just a random black guy, and I thought it was Herman Cain.
So you
It
call
was,
every black guy Herman Cain?
or Ben Carson. Sometimes they look more like Ben Carson. Um, but it's.
You don't call any black people Kanye?
I call Kanye Kanye.
So you know what Kanye looks like.
But because he always shows up with his, uh, you know, he always shows up with Kim, and she brings her knee pads, and so it's easy to tell him because he comes with Kim Kardashian.
I gotcha.
West, don't forget.
I'll never forget.
Don't leave off the West.
I won't. Now, Sidney Powell, there were no red flags when you hired her?
I actually just thought she was Deborah Burks, and I said, "Where are all your scarves?" It wasn't for a few days later that I realized she was somebody different.
How responsible is that of you that you didn't even know who you hired?
When you have such a strong case like I do, such an ironclad case for the presidency, you can have a third-rate lawyer. But Rudy Giuliani has disappointed me. He's leaking poop from the forehead.
It's not poop from his forehead.
Excuse me, look at it. It looks like diarrhea.
It does look like diarrhea, but it's just
Although
hair dye.
you see this Jenna, the other attorney, the young blonde with sort of the rack. I like her.
Do you?
She's very passionate. She could lose a couple, but she's pretty. She's a good thick, and she's evangelical. And I love she's evangelical, but she's willing to die for me. That's a good crazy.
So if someone's willing to die for you,
Oh, she's killing her career, and I respect that because she's doing it for me.
Mr. President, these lawsuits that are being taken as a joke.
Well, they're very serious, and they're being taken seriously by quality legal scholars on both OAN and Newsmax.
But those are extreme right media. And the thing is that people who are actually looking at it, who are judges on the court, are throwing them out and laughing at these cases.
They're not laughing. They're not laughing.
Well, as jokey as you can write in a legal document, you are being taken as a joke, these lawsuits.
No, I'm being taken very seriously. I think now that we've gotten rid of Sidney Powell and, hopefully Rudy Giuliani, his head explodes from all the shit inside of it.
Are you going to get rid of Rudy?
Once we get Jenna Ellis as lead attorney / mistress, I think we're looking at a very positive turn for our great legal case. It's called rule of law. It's called rule of law.
Why don't you hire OJ's lawyers?
You mean Kim Kardashian's dad? Like, get the hologram? Remember she had the hologram of her dad at her party?
Exactly.
I am now represented by the hologram of the whore's dad.
What's his name? Shapiro?
His last name was Kardashian.
One of the lawyers. Wasn't one of the lawyers Shapiro? Another
Well, that
lawyer?
was one of the lawyers, but you said what was the lawyer's name? And I was like, it was Kardashian.
Well, he had a team of lawyers.
Right, he had Cochran, right? No, Cochran, Mike. You thought I said Cochran. Johnny Cochran and Ben Shapiro.
I thought he was Ben Shapiro.
Or Robert Shapiro. Ben Shapiro might just be a very strong political pundit that you should know. And a lot of lawyers, a lot of strong lawyers.
Well, Mr. President, so Sidney Powell, you are saying that you basically have no association with her.
Let me tell you something. If I were to construct my perfect woman, you would take Sidney Powell's sick, diseased, mentally retarded mind and you'd put it in Ivanka's body, and I would never leave my house for the rest of my life.
How is Ivanka? We haven't spoken about Ivanka in a really long time.
She's upset. She's upset that as she calls me daddy. I like it when she calls me daddy. Sometimes I tell her to call me daddy and say sir as well.
Daddy, sir?
Oh, don't say it to me, tech stuff guy. This is a family podcast. But no, she's very upset because she wants to be president. And, Jared Kushner is stressed. So he's not even giving her his normal C plus level sex. So it's a very tough and stressful and sad time for the beautiful Ivanka.
You talk to your daughter about her sex life?
No, we have security cameras.
So that's right. So you're just watching and you know what's going on. That's really
Right.
just creepy and weird.
No, I analyze it like, John Gruden and John Madden. I go, you play it back and go, this is the moment when she was looking for this and he didn't deliver.
Do you use a yellow pen on the screen also?
Well, I sometimes spray yellow on the screen, but it's not a pen.
What is it? Before I assume.
No, I don't know what you were going to assume.
I was going to assume that you've squirted orange juice on the screen.
You'd be wrong.
What is it?
Not juice, but it is sterile.
Can you tell us what it is so I don't have to guess?
Well, you can guess so we can move on. It's up to you.
Is it piss?
It is not piss. It's called urine.
Okay. That's the same thing. Mr. President, since these lawsuits are being thrown out, what do you plan on doing? I know you don't plan on acting as president until January in the inauguration, but what do you plan on doing besides playing golf?
We're going to move to Florida. We're going to set up a news network, and I'm going to announce in the middle of Sleepy Joe's fake inauguration speech, I am going to tweet out that I am running in 2024.
But you're going to be up there on the podium with him. You're going to actually take out your phone and tweet it, or you're going to have.
I'm actually not going to be, and I think we might have said this on one of the exclusive bonus episodes. I'm going to come running in midway through his speech, tweet that, and then run in and clothesline him like a WWE superstar. By the way, I'm a WWE Hall of Famer. Sleepy Joe isn't.
So, Mr. President, you don't plan on succeeding at all.
I've succeeded a lot, but I'm not going to succeed.
So you're not going to.
Or Susudio.
You're not going to call him, and you're not going to be there for the ceremony unless it's to run in and
clothesline him.
And clothesline him and tweet.
Correct. No, it goes like this. Sleepy Joe gets up there, and he's standing up there going, "We have to do more as a country. We got to bring back the soul of America." And then I'm going to tweet, "I'm running in 2024." And then you're going to see people on screen starting to look at their phones. And when they look at their phones, Sleepy Joe is going to go, what's going on? And then I'm going to run in from the other side and clothesline him.
You say no secede as you clothesline him.
Exactly. And then they're going to play Susudio on the loudspeaker.
Well, Mr. President, thank you for joining us another week, and
still, Mr. President, they can't take it away from me.
They cannot take it away from you. And they were also talking about Secret Service and what Secret Service is going to be moving with you into Mar-a-Lago eventually.
I've asked
your men.
I don't want men. I've asked for the Gaddafi treatment, which is exclusively busty women to guard me for the rest of my life.
Okay.
When mesothelioma comes in, I go, "Get out of here. I think there's an assassin trying to kill me. They're protecting my dick."
Oh, those are some great bodyguards in the Secret Service right there. Mr. President, appreciate you. And I will speak to you on Wednesday. We have the Perfect 10 live episode with a Q&A, and that is at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So all,
or as we call it, a Q and an on.
A Q and on, that's right. And plenty of bonus episodes on the Patreon.
Okay, well, I have something to add to that. Thank you. Can I speak on my own podcast, sir?
Sure.
And I call you sir sarcastically.
I understand that.
Well, now you do, because I explained it. I don't think you knew before. I don't think you knew before.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is on Friday, which is known as Black Friday, okay? I will be finally doing, we've been a little delayed in the Perfect 10 video, but our Perfect 10 members will get the exclusive video this month, and it'll be Trump's Guide to Surviving Black Friday.
Oh, God.
Exclusive video for only our Perfect 10. So if you're not a Perfect 10 Patreon, bump it up. And then on Sunday, we will post the Rotten Oranges. So that's Ivanka leveling up. I will be reviewing a few movies that are new on streaming services, and it will be fun and very talented as always. So that's your Patreon content for the rest of November. Very strong.
Very strong. Also, leave some ratings and reviews on iTunes, also on Spotify, everyone. And check out the website, mpgapod.com. We have tons of videos on the YouTube page, and grab a t-shirt also. And especially, guys, check out all the Patreon content, patreon.com/mpga. Mr. President, always a good time. Thank you so much. And any parting words for our audience?
Well, this has been a very powerful month, and we thank our Patreon patriots, but I thank myself mostly.
Never,
But I would like,
heard anyone just thanking themselves, and that's
excuse me. Just because we're at the end of the episode doesn't mean you can be rude, tech stuff guy. You're fired.
it.
Hey, everybody, it's JL. And what I was going to say is just a couple things. Very brief. I'll keep this very brief. Check out my other podcast, Righteous PK, on Spotify or iTunes. There's a good new episode up this week, and you should subscribe to that. But if you don't want two podcasts, I get it. But what I will ask you to do is immediately sign up, especially our Patreon people, but sign up for my newsletter at my website, jlcomedy.com. You just scroll down to the homepage and give me your email, because then you avoid missing shit that I'm announcing because of Twitter algorithms. That's all. I'll leave it at that. There's plenty of other stuff to promote, but that's the main thing right now. So thank you. Are we done? Oh, okay. God help us all.